So this next part I'm going to move to is called the B-roll. This is the next part right here. Okay. B-roll is you will see footage like you're recording one scene, and you see another footage that alternate in, and it comes back in and out with it. So let's say I was talking, and I said, I'm in the Fort Worth Botanical Garden, but there's also the Dallas Arboretum as well. So I can actually do some B-roll on another garden that could look something like this with it. So again, it's one of those things that you could, and then it comes back to your main footage with it. That's what a B-roll is with it. All right. So I just want to give you a heads up on what we're doing with it. So when I first did this on this exercise, I didn't have the B-roll ready. It takes a long time to upload these files to eCampus with it. So for the time being right now, here's what we're going to get into. So follow along. Let's minimize our Premiere and open up your if you have your browser, your eCampus. I can't talk right now. Click on videos right here with it, and I have finished the B-roll right now with it. You see this file right here, it says B-rolls with it. I just added a couple more footage in there with it. Download it. It's in here in your bottom left hand of your browser. I'm using Chrome with it. I'm going to open this up with it. These are the two files I have right here with it. So copy those two files and then find the folder that you have. I have my folder right here for my class, module 5, and here's the B-rolls. So just let's paste both of those in here, which I did already, and you should have two footage that's in there as well. All right. So here's what I'm going to leave this Windows Explorer window. Let me minimize this browser. I'm going to leave this open right here with it. Open your file, your media over here with it. Let me make this a little bigger so you can have a little bit more room and see what I'm talking about with it as well. So in here, here's what I'd like for you to do right now. You have a folder that has these 7 footages in here, and then sitting outside of it is a file. We haven't touched the audio file. If you right mouse click on it, let me see here. What's the best way of doing this? All right, you see this right here? This icon on the bottom right. I want you to create a new bin for me, which is a new folder basically with it. Let's call this thing music. Okay. I want you to take that beautiful, relaxing music and drag it inside of your music folder. So it looks like it's indented in. You can see that. So that's the file that we download. Click on this new bin again for me. Let's call this one B-rolls. B-O-R-O-L-L-S. Okay. So inside of the B-rolls, I'm going to go inside of it. Here's my B-roll bin right here with it. I want to come up to my B-roll right here. I have both of these footage right here. Select them all and drag them. Just drag it into that folder. And it takes a few minutes to download and move over with it. So let's give it a few seconds with it. All right. Okay. So going back to our main projects with it, this is what it looks like right now. I can collapse the 7. And just to show you what I just did here, make sure that you have your file structure looking like this right now. Cool? All right. So again, it takes a while to upload all this to eCampus. That's why I didn't have the B-rolls ready for you at that time with it. Now I need for you to have a folder called B-roll right now with it as well. So let me move this media because we're limited size here. Let me move this over here so we can have a little bit more space to work with, with it. And I want to take the timeline all the way to the beginning here with it. If you click on this right here, it will actually take you to the needle where you're at with it. Don't do any of this at this time right now with it. So like I said, you play with this a little bit more. We will with it. But if you want to take all this to the back, from the beginning with it, I'm going to show you how to do a B-roll on this thing with it. All right. So this is where we're going to come in right now. We're going to add in the B-roll right here with it. So I'm going to start out with this first one right here. This is where the entrance where we came in on it. So there's a couple of ways you could do this. I mean, again, disregard the content of what I'm talking about with it. So imagine this. I'm going to take the 196 file. I'm going to drag it. I'm just going to put it right there, all right, on the V2 line right there with it. And you can see it brings in another audio file, right? But I'm going to mute it, all right? I'm going to mute this thing, right? But I don't want this whole thing. So let me do Control Z again. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. This time, let me recapture I only want part of it, all right? So let's do this. I'm going to bring the 196 right now with it. Let me bring it in right now with it. I'm going to bring it into that layer right there with it. Click on the icon. Just drag it over, pop it right there, okay? So I want to cut. I just need a view. This right now is what's showing right now with it. First of all, I want to mute that segment with it. Don't worry. I want to mute it, that audio I just brought in. And if you look at it, you know, there are people there, right? So let's say I want everything from here, right? This is the one I'm editing right here. This is the one right here. I'm going to click on that right here. I want to start with that part. I don't want that person to be in there with it. Let me take it out as much as possible, right about right here with it, right? I'm going to click on that video, that new B-roll that I just brought in right now. Control K. Now if I want something to the left of that, delete. So I hit Q, all right, or if you want it just to be easier, just right mouse click on it. I would always come down and cut is another way of doing it with it. And then I'm going to grab that line and I'm going to move it to that part with it, all right. And I could scrub this like all the way to when it gets to here with it. So showing a little bit about where I'm about to start out with. Okay, so you can make that, move that down there a little bit with it. See, and I don't need this whole segment yet, right? So what you can do is to do that part with it. Again, this is a little bit more than I anticipated on this B-roll with it. Normally B-roll is only a small segment with it, right? So let's say I only want that part right there. Okay, that part, that sign right there. That's all I want right there with it, right? Again, I'm going to take that part right there, that little, right about right here. Control K with it. Let me cut that out. Delete that part. Again, move that to the beginning with it, and take this timeline. I'm doing this on the fly here, and as I moved away, I didn't want that with it. So Control K. I'm going to take this part. I don't need anything after that, so I'm just going to delete that with it. So so if I look at this from the beginning, this is what it looks like. Okay, actually I need to move all that to here with it. That's what I want. All right, so it's gonna, when I play this, okay, so you can see the transition, flowers, and it's gonna play this first and then so on with it. But we're gonna mute this audio. Don't worry about the audio. Everything will be muted out later on with it as well. So let me mute this one as well, because I have a music layer I want to bring in. So I'm going to mute both of those right now with it. I need for you to take the B-roll screenshot of this part right here. This is the part I need for you to take a screenshot, is this B for the B-roll. Take a screenshot of this part right here so I can see that you brought in the B-roll. It's a different layer than the other ones with as well. Okay? All right. This concludes the B-roll with it. Let me do, I'm going to end the video right here.